Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, guys. So thank you for being here. I know it looks a little light. And Dan wants to.
New lights.
There are new lights, yes, thank you.
Not in here. Not in here.
Not in here, that's
Yeah.
true.
I feel dark.
It will. Hi. Oh, go ahead and have a seat. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
A good start.
Yes, we are. We're a little short today. So Lindy's not feeling well. Melissa's kind of not well, but she's in the office. Gabby just got back from not being very well.
Yeah.
And here we are. Yeah.
It's great. I should get on
There, once you, yeah, now it should. Once you've clicked on that on your screen.
I know how to use it.
Just like our screen.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, it's inside.
Okay, here we go. All right, so we're gonna start off with gratitude. So anybody, what can you tell me what you're grateful for today? Oh, go ahead, Jay.
I've got 3 closings this week.
Ooh.
We got my first KW military referral from Columbus.
Wow. Okay. Woo-hoo. Nice.
Yeah.
And your mom, Jay, was your mom here?
What's that?
Was your mom here
Well,
somewhere?
my mom lives here, yeah, but we.
No, but like, was she in the office?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought she was in the office, because I was gonna say, tell her we said thank you for the cookies.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, thank
Mom
you
is
for,
getting cookies again.
yes,
We're
exactly.
grateful for your mom's cookies.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, anybody else? Let's do 3 at least.
Yeah.
Tracy. Oh, go ahead. Tracy, Tracy, go ahead.
I'm grateful for meeting 3 potential VA.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna get you.
She's gonna stalk them and get them, okay? Go ahead, Larissa.
Okay, I'm grateful for Elf on the Shelf. Because
Oh.
my son is on such good behavior. He's always watching.
Ooh, okay, good one. I forgot about Elf on the Shelf.
You don't know what that is? No,
Yeah,
Elf on
because
the
he
Shelf.
watches.
He's Santa's helper. He watches
Records
Back
back
to
to
Santa.
Santa.
Movies every
Oh,
single
it's like a
night.
spy kill.
Yeah, it's not a, it's
It's not
just
a
a
real
doll.
spy.
Yeah, it's just a doll.
He thinks it's real.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it's a
Wait,
You have to do little like
Yeah.
scenes.
Yeah.
when you
It's
move
like
them.
move around.
I'm grateful that I sold ours and we don't have to do that.
I just.
So he moves, I hear. Okay. I know it's really like light, but if we could at least all say, on 1, 2, 3, happy birthday, Melissa. I'm gonna go around and do a video so we can send it to her.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so,
Tell us when to start.
okay, I will on 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Melissa.
Happy birthday, Melissa. Okay. All right. All right, so let's move on. Oh, I have the thing. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Okay, so obviously TCPA compliant, making sure that we are following the rules. I don't know if Susan wants to add anything to that when you come up, but here we go. Okay, Susan's next.
Everybody. By the way, that TCPA document is available on the Facebook page, and it was also sent out to all of you. So if you can't find it, let me know, and I'll be most happy to share it again.
Yeah, and it's right behind you too.
Okay, we're continuing our conversation as we're getting close to entering the last month of the year about the agency law changes that are taking place on January 1st. So there are significant changes to the law and the corresponding forms that go with them. And specifically, ones were really, the really critical ones. You've got to have an agency agreement with buyers and sellers in place. Now, we're really focusing on the buyer conversation because obviously we have listing agreements with sellers that provide for us to market their property and do a whole bunch of stuff for them. And it also specifies how you get paid on that document. We've all been doing that all along. The difference here is now the buyer's agency agreement must be in place, and we as a firm are not entitled to collect compensation unless we have that brokerage agreement with the clients. I've already been given a heads up that DOL is going to be auditing firm files for compliance with this specific requirement, and that'll be a heavy emphasis for them. And also know that buyers would have a civil right of action against any firm or broker that fails to enter a brokerage service agreement with a consumer before or as soon as reasonably practical after provision of the real estate brokerage services. Now, again, in the context of a buyer agency agreement. So I'm going to have some more conversations with you about what is reasonably practical. But a real quick scenario would be, say you meet somebody at an open house, you're holding the open house, and they come in, get to chatting, you set up a time for them, they say, oh, I really want you to show me some properties, this one isn't right for me, but this is what I want. So at that point, you're not going to chase them down as they're going to the car and say, hey, sign this form for me. When would it be reasonably practical to do so? When you meet with them to assess their needs and wants, what area they want to live in, what their goals are in real estate, if they have a lender. So when you're really getting into a buyer consultation, you're offering some brokerage services, that would be the logical time to do that. But I think later on in December, I'll do like a Q&A we'll run some scenarios and then kind of figure out what's the most appropriate time during that scenario to obtain that brokerage service agreement. I also want to point out that the new law provides protection for us by virtue of the fact that if we don't say we didn't get paid, if we have that brokerage service agreement in our file, we have a legal basis for suing for that compensation. If you don't have it, nothing. You have no civil right to sue for compensation. So the next, read that too well. Oh, take time to educate yourself now. We've got the awesome Annie Fitzsimmons going to be teaching a class on December 14th in Renton at the Carco Theater. $20. I think you guys all got an invitation. I believe it was also posted on the Facebook page. So this is a really good investment of your time. Please take the class.
Do you know how many people that'll hold the Carco Theater?
No, I asked Goldie that, but I haven't heard that. Good question, Dennis. I don't know.
I failed.
Anybody know?
200-ish.
Couple hundred?
Because it was more than the other place we were looking. There was one place we were looking at, it was like 150. Oh, no, that we were looking at, so that's why they.
Cool. So as we approach the end of the year, evaluate your current transactions. Specifically, what if you have a transaction that started in 2023, but it's not going to close till 24? Well, again, you're going to need an agency agreement in place in order to receive compensation. And the revised law has certain required terms in the form that aren't included in our current forms, but will be in the ones that are available on the first. So I would say all agreements need to be updated to conform to the revised agency law. You can look at the sample forms now. Last time we actually had a meeting in person. I had some printed out for you, but they are available on the MLS, but the actual forms to use won't be available till the first.
The listing agreement changing?
I'm getting there.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it's right here. So if you have a buyer agency agreement in effect prior to the first, you really should replace that agreement with a new buyer agency agreement. An existing listing agreement doesn't really need to be revised unless you are going to be a dual agent, because there's new language surrounding that. And you can amend your listing agreement with Form 18, Amendment to Listing Agreement, to provide for the seller's consent for you to being a single dual agent. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
That's best practice, and that's what we expect you all to do as responsible brokers. Okay. That was fun.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Do you know if we're gonna have the forms or the sample forms for that December 14th? Will she be going through those?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we will likely be printing those out and taking them for all the attendees.
Okay.
As this, responding.
And
Along
Dan-
with the
and
other
Dan just
material for the
confirmed
class.
it's 300.
Oh, it's 300?
That holds 300?
Yeah, but realtors, their ego's big, so maybe 275.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, Debbie.
I'm here with Griggs and Kent. So, okay, just a couple little things. I think in all the time I've been doing loans, I have never had a VA update regarding collections. That's a long time to go. Now they're going to start collecting, counting any collections that are on the credit report for veterans. We have to use 5% of the balance towards their debt to income ratio. Prior, we ignored them. FHA, if you have $2,000 or more in a collection, they have to be paid. So these are pretty big changes for us in the qualifying range. So I just want to bring that to your attention. And then as we're continuing to go over our lending scenarios, things that happen last minute, which delay closings, it's really important for you guys to understand that when it comes to mortgage insurance, debt to income ratios, loan to value, all of that can change at the last minute with one little change. If their homeowner's insurance comes in higher, it could bring the debt to income over 45. That changes mortgage insurance. You have to go back in, reapply, get the update, and go. If they have any conditions on it, we cannot draw closing papers until that mortgage insurance certificate is in the file. So it's not always on the lender. We're not delaying, but if it goes high enough and we have to redisclose to the borrower, there's your 3-day trade exchange again. So keep that in mind as we're getting close to the end, where people are still closing on a fairly timely manner, but when an extension is asked for, it's important to just follow it. Ask us exactly what it is and we'll tell you why. Any questions?
How do you avoid those?
If your borrower cooperates and get these items in early, that helps. But my last one happened to be inspection for the property. It had health and safety issues. So the MI company would not even give us the certificate till the appraiser went back out and inspected. Unless you've got people that are holding hands and going through, it could delay it. We actually closed on time, miracle, but it worked. Just so that you know, we don't plan these things to happen. Sometimes they just do. Okay.
And then
Oh, please, please, thank you, thank you. We're doing the home buyer class again on Tuesday at 6 o'clock here in this room. It's our last one for the year, but we've already registered for next year. We're going to do it the second Tuesday of every single month beginning in January. We just figured if it was the same day every single month, it would be easier to remember. But we don't want any delay in these buyers. We want to keep them moving. So if you've got anybody available Tuesday night here in this room at 6, we'd love to help them. Thank you.
love it. Thank you. Okay, Thaisa.
Just add to Debbie's comment about the first-time homebuyer class. Anybody can come to those, and for those of you who are sitting here checking out our office, I would also encourage you to come next Tuesday. You don't have to bring a buyer, you can just come. It's a lot of great information for newer agents and everybody like that. So I had just 2 things today. One, a huge shout out to the C2C program. Wendy, who is one of the people in coaching, had her first mailer go out this week, and in less than an hour after the person got their postcard, they called her and wanted to talk to her about a land deal. So the C2C is awesome, and I just want to do that little celebration because it really is a big help to all of us to be in that program and to have access to it and things like that. So I just had a little productivity thing that everybody might consider a cool thing that I found. Could you go to the next? Hopefully this is the picture. Yes, that was it. They made a new picture. All right, so I saw a really fun little pop by idea, which was take two rolls of wrapping paper, put a little ribbon around it, some cheap scissors and a little bit of Scotch tape and your business card, and you can swing by your clients or the people in your neighborhood, and for probably $25 to $50 of investment of your money, you could probably hit about 30 houses to just stop by and say, hey, I'm your local real estate agent. I've got this thing for Christmas to make your Christmas a little easier. Here's a little wrapping paper kit, and give you reasons to have conversations with your farm or the people in your neighborhood. Just a little conversation starter. And I thought it was a really cute idea. That's not the picture that I had. I don't know where that picture came from or where my picture went. But yeah, just a real simple idea to be able to start those conversations. And that again is anybody, new agents, old agents, whatever you're gonna do. Just we're always looking for ways to be helpful and reasons to have conversations with people. So that's it for today for me.
That's what I thought. Okay, so we're gonna do something different today, which is gonna be watching a video, and then we can chat about it after the video. Keep in mind, this is about 3 decisions we all control every moment. So it's really more about mindset and making sure that we are going into the new year with the thought process of everything that we can control, right? The things that we can do. Now, here's the caveat. It is from 20, you'll have to go down out of that. And then that was why I'm like, I needed you because I won't be able to do it. It is from 2020. So she is going to reference, right, some of the things that were happening in 2020, but it's still relevant in terms of the actual mindset today. So we're going to share it, and maybe we'll go, I don't know, make it faster if we can. Can we make it go 1.25 or something?
She'll talk.
Hello, Keller Williams. We are back. And we jumped this thing off with a bang, right? We had Cody Gibson. We're talking about mindset. We're starting to get into this. And we're resetting and reminding ourselves that people do business with people they like. And the more human we are, the better off it is, not just for the industry, but for all of our customers as a whole. And our next guest is going to help us really come clear on the decisions that we're making in a moment-by-moment basis as we start to move through the day. So, Corinne, I want to welcome you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. So this is cool. And I know, because I see a bank of windows behind you, that it's like 5 in the morning because you woke up and you got all ready to come to us from Hawaii. Is that right?
Yes. And those actually aren't windows. It's actually outside.
I'm so grateful for you doing this. I'm a huge fan of yours. I've made no secret about that throughout my career. And your ideas around gratitude, they've really changed my life and the way that I think about things. And your ideas around mindset have changed the way that I look at the world. And you haven't made me a better realtor. You've made me a better human. And all of that is to say thank you for everything that you've done. Now, help all of us better understand, where does our mindset need to be this morning? How do we need to be thinking about this?
Yeah, so obviously lots of fear that is just in the world right now, right? That in our cities, our towns, our marketplaces. And that fear is driven by uncertainty. And I heard a statement yesterday and I thought, this is a lasting one that I'm going to keep in my pocket. And it was, only I can put fear inside myself. And I thought, that's a really empowering statement, right? Because I've definitely been guilty of saying, well, that scared me or they scared me. And it's like, no, only we choose whether or not how we're going to feel, right, about something. So how can we avoid making decisions in fear, or worse, perpetually living in a fear state? And I think right now more than ever is a time to do what Jim Rohn was known of saying, which is stand guard at the door of your mind, right? If we don't discipline our fears and control our focus, the world is going to do that for us. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today is actually one of the most empowering lessons that I've ever learned, or perspectives. I wish I could take credit for it. It's actually from Tony Robbins. And that's the topic today, right? Which is, we all control every moment. There's decisions that we make, 3 decisions specifically, that we all control every moment of our lives. And the first one is, what am I going to focus on? So it's interesting, right, that we're all having the same thing happen, but we're all choosing what we're going to actually focus on.
Yeah.
So doing just a little bit of the, exactly does that mean? What I focus on is what I feel. And it's, hey, that's exactly it. We can hear the exact same thing and then decide, oh, you know, the market may change. There's going to be things that are changing in our marketplace. And how do we feel about that? And initially, you know, you could focus on the stock markets going down and again, all that uncertainty, but we can't control those things. What we can control is how we feel about those things happening, right? So I think I'm reminded of when I got into the business in end of 03, beginning of 04, it was very similar to this market that we've been in, and I'm in the Metro Phoenix area, and it's been multiple offers, non-refundable earnest deposit, you know, highly, highly competitive, and getting more fiercely competitive by the day. And in end of 07, 08, it felt like somebody turned the spigot off, okay? Now looking back, I go, you know what, that probably didn't get turned off immediately. I just didn't know what I didn't know. First of all, I didn't have great leadership like we do today at Keller Williams. I didn't have the tools and resources, you know, that were being given. And so it did feel like it was being shut off. But really in hindsight, it wasn't that quite big of a shut off. But anyway, if I go back to what's happening today, I could get in fear, or actually I've chosen, it's been great because I've been on this journey with gratitude and shifting my mind, that my immediate, I'm not gonna lie, for a few seconds was, gosh, this is concerning. And then I went to, okay, now what are the good things that are gonna come out of this? What's the positive that I can find in it? What's the gift? And there's a couple of things that I shifted to. And number one was, in the marketplace, frankly, we have people that were not going to become homeowners. And now this is an opportunity that they can actually get that chance. I had a child very, very young. I bought my first house at 19. I had sweat equity. I needed help with closing costs. That's really important to me. There's another young woman and many, many young families that now are going to get that opportunity that they wouldn't have otherwise. So I can take some positivity and some gratitude, you know, out of that. The other piece is, if I'm being honest, I probably haven't been working to my full potential, right? The market always makes us look a little bit better than what we are. And so now it's time for me to roll up my sleeves again, go back out there and be able to, you know, really live up to my full potential, because I've been cheating on that a little bit. So that part is also exciting. So I'm going to choose to focus, right, on those things versus the other, right? All the fear and all the crap.
Yeah. It's 100%. It's interesting because on the way up, whenever these markets boom, they're always built on fear, which is this unrealistic expectation of future gain. And you hear things like, it's never going to be this good again. I have to get it now or I'm going to miss out. If I don't get it now, I'm going to really miss out. And no matter what the price is, I'm willing to pay more because it's always going to go up. And then on the way down, it's always fear-based also, which is this unrealistic expectation of future decline. And people say, it's never going to come back. It's completely changing. This time it's different. But Corinne, we know that when you let fear take over logic, it's really never different. What goes up comes down, and what goes down goes back up. And if we can be calm and breathe through that and then recenter, we can sure help a lot of other people do the same thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you know what? Fear is a natural emotion. It's not anything that we should be ashamed of. It's just recognizing it and then doing number two, which is shift, right? So number one is, what am I going to focus on? Number two is, you know, how am I going to feel about that? Let me choose to shift, you know, that focus. And so I'm also reminded, you know, what Warren Buffett teaches, which is not panic when others get scared by the headlines. If we have the courage to ignore the prophets of doom, the best opportunities are going to come in the times of maximum pessimism, right? So let's take some comfort in that as well. And if I look at, I think, you know, I tend to be very logical. And so gratitude and, you know, some of this stuff seems kind of woo-woo and airy-fairy. And I can tell you that I really look at this, and the message I've been sending for our team is that this is our mental fitness plan. This is our mental regimen. And my friend Sarita Dua, actually out of Portland, said, we're getting ready to enter the mental Olympics. And I thought, wow, that's really great. That's exactly what we're going to do. And if we're going to prepare for the Olympics, we got to do some things different, right? So what are you going to do as far as, you know, preparation if you were going to actually enter the Olympics? So you would do weights and strength training, I would hope, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely right.
that's the gratitude. If you look at that, if you lifted weights for one day, you're not going to see the muscle change in one day, right? If you do it one time. So you're going to have to do that several times a day. And I remember just being in a really negative space. I think I come from a negative environment. And so I recognized that and I wanted to specifically change that. And so I put this practice in where in Facebook, I was sharing gratitude. I did it every day for more than 1,000 days in Facebook, sometimes on vacation, climbing on top of mountains and, you know, stressing about getting a signal. But I did that every day. And on some very dark days, I'd find something that I feel grateful for. And the moment that I really saw that it started to shift was a very hot day in Phoenix. I got in my car and I was wearing a skirt. And I mean, I burned my behind so badly. And I got cranky, right? I was like, this is ridiculous. I have a black car. And I think I did that for 5 seconds. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, first of all, Corinne, you have cooled seats. It's going to cool you from the inside out in a few seconds if you could just be patient. Second of all, like most of the times of your life, you haven't even had a car that you can get from point A to point B. You have no doubt you're going to get to where you need to go. And I just had this immediate wave of gratitude and complete shift in my emotion. And so that practice has just continued to carry over. So I can tell you right now, we were doing fail forwards on our team. We said, you know what, our morning huddle, we're not gonna do fail forwards, we gotta do gratitude. Hey, in our Slack channel, we gotta share gratitude 5 to 6 times a day right now, because we have to perpetuate positivity, good news, things that are like, tell us some wins that you're having and gratitude. And so just say, remember that that's like a muscle, it's not overnight. And I promise if you continue to practice that, it's not airy-fairy, you will absolutely have a shift in your attitude. The other piece is the cardio and the endurance of the Olympics, right? That's increasing the lead gen activity. I know lots of people are coming on talking about that, so I'm not gonna talk about that. But the third one is if you don't change your diet, right? And that's increasing our knowledge, which is what all of us are doing today. And that's gonna help ease, you know, some of our fears and gain confidence as well, right? So that tactic is just shifting to gratitude. And I also look at REO. I think one of the reasons maybe that you asked me to come speak today is that, you know, I did pretty well in REO. And so coming out of that market in 08, actually thought about this last night. And in 2007, I had a 10-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and I was pregnant. And so getting a job was not an option for me. I was not going to go out and get, you know, a 9 to 5. So real estate was an absolute must. It wasn't a should. I had fully shifted my mindset. I had not actually fully shifted my mindset. I said it was a must, but I wasn't doing the things that I had to do to survive. And there's a time that I had to pull the money off of our home equity line to survive. And that didn't feel so good. And again, I go back to, well, you know what? My ego was winning. The previous market had made me look a little bit better than I thought I was. And when humility set in, I actually committed to doing some of the things that I needed to do to make sure that I didn't just survive that market and that change, I actually thrive, right? And then I just continue to go back to what I knew. And so I just go back to, you know, we got to control what we can control. Let's focus on what we can control. And that's how we react to all these different things that are happening around us. And so, go ahead.
Well, I love that. Here's the thing, and this was told to me by a good friend of mine. He said that everybody that's really successful appears weird to everybody else. Meaning the vast majority of people that are going to be the ones that you're going to want to emulate have something weird about them. And you have this moment right now to kind of get a little weird, which is posting something that you're grateful for right now on Facebook, which if you want to find a way to honor Corinne for the time and for waking up at 4 a.m., do that.
Yeah.
Just write one thing you're grateful for on Facebook and tag her in that. Tag me in that too, because what an awesome way to start. I promise if you do it, someone else is going to read it and they're going to do the same thing. But others would say that's weird. And making the decision that you're going to be an immovable object in residential real estate and getting your whiteboard next to you and start to map your day and get ultra focused on controlling your fear and making the choices. Other people are going to look at that and they're going to say that's weird, because here's the thing. Whenever you change your behavior, there's people that want to judge that change. But I promise you, if you ignore that judgment and you continue to move towards what we know is right and what we know is good, which is caring about others, living a purposeful day, time blocking, and gratitude, you're going to look back a year from now and it's possible your whole life looks different.
Okay, so what, I'm gonna stop it now, just so you know, it's a really good video, obviously, right? She goes on and there's more, and It's really just getting your mind right. And so if you guys want that video, let us know. We can make sure you get a copy of it to watch the rest of it. But with that in your head, right? So I thought that obviously the best thing was stand guard at the door of your mind. Does anybody have an example of how they work on their mindset right now?
No, but yes, I do. I do. I think how you stand guard at the, isn't it?
The door of your mind.
Your door of your mind. That's it. It's how you wake up in the morning. Because you pretty much decide what the day is going to be like when you wake up in the first 10 minutes.
True.
You get up and you tell yourself it's going to be a pretty good day, chances are it's going to be a pretty good day. If you wake up and you go, that's what it's going to be.
Exactly. I'm there 100%. I work on it every day. Mark?
I try to come to the office because you're in your own head at home, you can make up all sorts of stories. Dangerous neighborhood to hang out in.
Yes, that's so true, right? Because you're sitting there with all of whatever's going on in your mind, and there's nobody to rebut that or to say, hey, no, I'm having a good day and this is why. So good point, Mark. Anybody? Oh.
So I feel like a lot of us are inundated a lot by social media, and we can get into a funk because of that doom scrolling. It's called that for a reason. And so at the standing guard at the door of my mind, I curate my social media feed. So I don't want to see people trash talking. I don't want to see bad politics. I don't care what side of the line you're on. I don't want to see it. I want to see uplifting things. And if I have, and I've got a pretty large social media number of humans, and I just, if people start posting negative things, I unfollow them for 30 days. If they come back on my feed again and they're still posting negativity, I just unfollow. I don't unfriend them. I just stop needing to have that negative input in my eyes and in my mind. And I do it on purpose. I know I'm in a bit of a positive echo chamber there, but that's what I want to be in. I want to be pushing towards positivity. And so that's what I surround myself with.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, it reminds me of at church, the pastor talked about social media as we're called users, right? When we're talking about ourselves, and then we get feeds. So he was like, that kind of tells you right there the mindset of social media and like how we just have to, like, we need it all the time. Yeah, and there is a good time where you can actually shut down and be like, okay, I need to move off of that, right? Tracy?
Yeah, so my mindset coming here today was I want to make my CMA personalized to my client by adding all the upgrade photos. So I came here, I know, I'm all asking, Troy, Alan, who knows how to CMA? I asked everybody here, who's good? Okay, I need that in there. So I asked everyone, so who's good? Nobody's good? Okay. After I found out, I asked I asked everybody. Okay, finally, I got the answer. I went back and I showed them how to do it too. Because why? Once you make it personalized, I got my mindset, I did it, and now it's exactly how I want it. I got the one thing that Thaisa had. I asked everybody, how do you get it? It's in command. It's a needle in a haystack. Nobody can find it. Finally, I got to the source. I got that in. I got the picture. Oh, you got to convert it to PDF. You got to be kidding me. Print it out, scan it in, convert it. Oh, no, that's not me. But anyway, I found a different, long story short, I got it exactly, and I showed them how to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Mindset. So I got it done today, and it's done.
Anybody else? Well, do you mind if I introduce you?
Sure.
Okay, so this is Maria, and she is getting ready to take her exam, and she's going to be joining us soon. But one of the things I did tell her, Tracy, so it's a perfect example, was that you can ask anybody walking in the hall at any given moment, hey, I need help, and they're gonna help you. And there's an example of it right there. Okay, so anything else in terms of mindset?
I like what they said about mental, you're entering the mental Olympics.
Yep. Mental Olympics.
Yep, and if you just keep that in mind, I mean, success is 95% mental.
Yep.
It is, and
It is.
you know, if you can keep your mind straight, everything else will be a lot easier.
What? No, I'm just looking at you.
No,
Michelle?
I'll respond to it.
I know. Michelle, what did you say?
I'll play on what Taisa was saying. I think if you understand what your triggers are, then it makes it much easier to avoid those things. Yes, positive or negative, but I mean, I think it's really helpful to understanding the things that might send you down a spiral you don't want.
Good point. Okay. If there is anything else, we'll go through announcements and we can get you out of here early because Dan made that request.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously we know. Okay, yeah, that needs to move. That's so weird that it's in the way, but okay. So the 29th, we have energy, optimize your performance,
That's tomorrow.
Who's that?
which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Mel Robbins.
No, that is.
no.
Melissa.
Melanie, somebody. I don't know.
Molly.
Molly.
Molly,
I knew it was an M.
She is the
I don't know.
Jerry Maguire of the female Jerry Maguire. Oh, she's the sports agent.
Oh,
And she's partnered with
awesome.
us.
No, she's awesome. She's like the only
They announced
female.
it in the regional.
Yeah, she was one of the only females. She kills. Yeah, she's
Oh,
very good.
sports,
She's a sports
agent.
scout
agent,
Yeah.
okay.
And it
Oh,
starts.
you know her, Troy, or do you know her
Yeah,
personally?
we're two friends.
She was your agent.
She was my agent.
But it's 10 a.m. Central, which means 8 a.m. here.
Yes.
So is
oh,
it-
Yeah,
Zoom? Yeah, with the QR.
it is,
Okay.
yeah, Zoom. Okay, so going to the next one, thank you for clarifying that, everybody, because I didn't know who she was. Okay. We're really doing well here. And then we're almost finished with bold, those of us that are going to bold. Okay, you keep going, nothing more to say on that. Okay, self-defense. So it's Thursday, the 30th at 11 a.m.
In this room? Oh, it's a Kent. It's a new Kent.
Next year's gonna be
Oh,
the
okay.
big stuff.
He's the perpetrator or whatever it's called. Okay. He's the perp. Edgar's the perp. Okay, so then this Friday, remember Photos with Santa. Are you guys all, have you signed up?
Everyone that wants to sign up, has signed up.
Please do
Is
because
this
we're,
like the client event that people could be doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
What an idea.
it's the client event that everyone could be doing. And yeah, so it's at Burien from 11 to 7 because originally we had it during the day and someone said, kids are at school during the day. So anyway, that's why it's till 7. And if you've not done it, please do. It's on the Facebook page for you to get the link and get signed up.
Is this the real Santa Claus?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Good, good.
And then how to double your sales in 2024, listing masterclass with Carla and Rita. And that is coming up on Tuesday. It's really fuzzy, this December 5th from 4 to 5:30. The QR code is up there. And again, all these will be on Facebook, but yeah, can you? Oh, wait, there, yeah.
Can you
I'm trying
look
to
to
do-
the other window, or do you have your windows doubled?
They're doubled. I didn't set this up.
That's
Yeah,
why
Ty set it
I'm
up.
like at the badge, so I'm like,
Okay, are we good? Okay, so yeah, that's done. And then CMA workshop with Anna. And that is the 11th of December at 11:30 a.m.
in here.
in here.
Yeah, you just, like, something has to be in here.
Yeah, something guys.
Are we
Yes.
gonna have any class, I know we have Annie's class about the buyer agents, but are we gonna have any classes about training on presenting and getting buyers to sign buyer agency?
We do, well, here's the thing, we were talking about that for early 2024.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're gonna have it in time for December. But yes, that is on the docket for that. And then like at the business meeting too, just so you know, we're gonna have a tax person come in and speak to everyone about taxes. FYI. Okay. All right, got it, Jay?
Yep.
Okay,
Is Carla and Rita's class in person?
yes. Is it
I'll
not?
go back, I'll go back.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Uh,
I'm like, where's my kiss?
No, because I got.
We probably just walk in.
Yeah, because
Does she need a ride?
I know.
See, that's
Yes.
No, I don't know.
Oh, you're gonna be gone.
She's way out.
And I will be there. She won't be there.
shows up, tell her no, get out.
Well, then she just goes to their house.
True.
Okay, well, then I guess not.
That was a sound or is that a muted sound?
Well, here's the thing, we're saying it's not, it's
Oh,
not,
it's Zoom?
yeah, because Rita's not here. Because Dennis would know if she was here.
Dennis
I don't know nothing, I am the.
Well,
I
what
should
is,
get-
do the QR.
Yeah,
code,
like
what
the
is
QR.
Yeah, what does it say?
Is it Zoom or
I'm
is it?
assuming it's.
Soul Centers Real Estate.
It doesn't say.
Or it could be,
Yeah, because I just downloaded it and I added it to my calendar, but it doesn't have.
TBD.
Yeah, we'll get.
Can you, by any chance, can you text her and ask her? Thank you. Okay,
I'll do it.
Are you? Back to the, okay, we did the CMA workshop.
yep.
What is it, the next one?
okay, so this is know your
It says
numbers.
Online event.
It is,
Yeah.
okay.
Online event, thank you. Well, I missed that. I
That means I
just
can
pushed it, signed up.
I
texted them to sign up. because I wasn't signed up, so, yeah, online.
Okay, so we have another class on the 11th, guys, and it's with Kristen.
And
Go
this
to the
is
top
not-
right.
Yeah, I was like, this thing just skip over.
Yeah, you're moving too fast there, girl.
Well, no, it's because it's doubled. Usually they're separate screens.
Yeah,
And
Ty
it's
did a
weird.
funky thing when he
on
set it up, and
So
I was
usually
like,
all
I
this
can't do
is
that.
Ty's fault.
That's Ty's fault.
Yeah.
So this is Monday, the 11th, 2:30 to 4 here. in This office.
Yep. Which is what we all need, right, is the 411 of the GPS, so that would be great. Okay. And then Annie Fitzsimmons, obviously, right? We have that coming up on the 14th, and it's from 9:30 to 1 at Carco Theater. And have you guys all registered that need to register? And the reason we're asking that is because we are gonna start inviting outside agents. So we want to make sure that you guys have the space before we start bringing other people into the world. And if you guys have anybody that you know outside that could use this information, that would appreciate it, please have them register and get signed up. Any other
Or do
agent
they need
that's,
to go through you to make sure that we got all our people sign up first?
well,
I think we have the space to accommodate us and outside.
well, especially if it's 300.
Yeah.
That Dan just confirmed. I'm gonna put it on Dan.
We'll remind them there.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So, sign up fast, guys.
Yeah. Sign up fast because we want to get more people in the door. And then if you guys want your people that you know outside, that you have what do you call it? Transactions with, that you want in, please bring them in. Okay,
Holiday party.
yes. Okay, well, can I ask the question? Just be blunt, and I'm gonna ask you guys.
Yep.
Do you want a holiday party? Would you come to the holiday party?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I would.
yes.
Maybe I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Let's just
Yes.
get down to it.
Yes, it is, but it's just not gonna be at a fancy place, right?
Is it
It's
here?
going to be in Burien,
Yeah.
which I don't know if we
I
had
thought
it.
I thought it was at Green River again.
No.
Slums.
We were, no, I'm not saying that Burien is the slums. I'm just saying that people are expecting it to be at a place.
Like a
But if
formal
that were
thing.
the case, then it would be one, more expensive to attend. The other would be, like you're saying where was it, what'd you say, Green River?
Green River.
I mean, it would have to be sponsored by a vendor or something. So do you realize when we spend money, right, and maybe Michelle can attest to this for us, when we spend money for those events, you know, we're not similar to any other brokerage. When we do spend that money, we're spending our money, if that makes any sense. Our profit share, all of those things. So we want to make sure, and Pam and Dennis want to stay in integrity and not be spending the agent's money on events. If that makes sense? Yeah. Okay. Do you want to add anything to it or no? Okay, all right. Okay, so what was it? Yay or nay?
Yeah.
I know. Troy said yes, there's alcohol. He's like,
Let's have that
and
Pam
Jay-
Dennis's house.
Yeah, there's not.
Yeah.
You can vote everybody in. Plus one, or you just.
Yeah, no, there's plus ones,
Okay.
but I think it's like $20 for
It's
plus
free if
one.
you're an associate, it's $10 if you're.
Oh,
bringing
10,
it.
okay. I
To
thought-
Marion? Yes.
Okay.
So can we have a raise of hands, maybe? Just do it really quickly. Put them up. Yes.
Can we send out a survey?
Yes, you can.
Find
Let's do
out.
a poll on the Facebook page, that might be.
That would.
A poll on the
Yeah,
Facebook page?
everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
can you-
but not everyone's on a Facebook page. We also send out an email.
A survey.
And a
you have
text.
a-
We'll get a text if they're not on a Facebook page and they don't know what's happening.
I'm like, and a text, because a lot of you
And
guys
a
don't
text.
have emails.
I'll make a Google form and I'll post
Billy, I
it in
think
the
you should call all the
Facebook.
agents and ask
There
them.
we go.
Yes, I should. Okay, yeah, so you guys are gonna get something for it. And you can,
We'll
you can
just
chime in,
I'm
because we'll decide whether we even need to have it, because if not, a lot of people are gonna attend, there's really no point. To be honest.
literally gonna send a yes anyway.
Okay, I think that, oh, okay, so family reunion, everybody, family reunion.
This is an old slide though, because it's back to normal.
Yes, it is an old slide. Because it is full price right now.
Yep.
But they are selling out because once they made the announcement for Tony Robbins, the tickets, they sold like, I don't know how many tickets in like so many hours. So if you are wanting to go, please make sure that you guys are getting registered and getting on deck to go.
We have about, what, almost 40 people from this office signed up?
Yeah, well, we'll keep going.
That's our percentage.
Okay, so are you guys competitive? I think you are, right?
Seriously,
Okay,
office has 13% of the market.
well, that's, yes, and we're not there, the percentage. Where's the other slide? Did you skip over it?
That was the next one I clicked. I didn't put this together. That's the next.
Okay, there.
There.
So, but still, I'm just gonna say this hasn't moved in 2 weeks. So right now, Federal Way's at 31 and we've not moved in 2 weeks. And really technically, we should be beating East Idaho. So if you guys are competitive, then please look at this and know that we're number 3 and we shouldn't be. We should be higher.
Watch our bottom line.
But if you go back to the percentage, do you see that Kent is at 13%, which is great?
So it means Kent is the majority of the sign up.
Technically, yeah. Well, percentage wise, yes, right? And percentages are what counts.
Yeah.
So, so we need to be in this percentage piece, which means we need at least 5 more people to get into the 13. So do you have anything to add to that, Dennis?
Well, you're not gonna get, this family is at Vegas.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna get cheaper. They usually go back and forth between East Coast and West Coast. So, I mean, Tony Robbins, come on, guys, you're not gonna get better
They
speakers.
announced it
than
right
that.
after the last.
Right, I mean, it's gonna be amazing.
No, before
So-
the last person.
And they had a discount code for Alaska Airlines too. I don't know if it's still
Yeah.
valid, but the flight was like less than $200 for a trip.
It's not gonna be cheaper.
So I know, Adam, you guys are going, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
With our children.
Yes.
Dennis said he would watch them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, during 20.
Yeah, we have 2 more to your little.
Just get a room, babysitting, and Dennis will be there.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
That's great.
If I'm not there, just drop them off.
So, I think probably the bulk of everyone that's in here is going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So will you be, kind of our, whatever you want to call it, our voice with all the other agents that you're talking to and making sure that they're getting signed up, especially because tickets are starting to dwindle. And we want to make sure that we're representing, Ranch Brokerage Network like we should be. Okay. I think it is the end.
No, that's
Oh,
the
one more
video.
video. Let's watch the quick video.
30 seconds. I don't believe you. That's what you want.
And then remember, we're having our Northwest, the region event at Glow Park. I've never been. So just keep that in mind. Glow Fest, which we should normally have the video, the thing on here too.
I'll try to make that.
Like supermarket thing. remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's, I hope it's better.
I know, I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Okay, very good.
So
Okay,
Tony's
yeah.
already saying that-
just call us, whatever you want to call it,
There we go.
freaking frack.
We
I don't know.
all-
Oh, there it is,
That's
Glow
what
Fest.
it's about.
The Area 15,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you haven't registered, please, you should have registered. I know Lindy said she won't be able to go to it. Can you go back?
That would make sense.
Yeah,
Because
because of the lights.
Stroke.
Yeah.
Stroke.
Oh my gosh.
I can go back.
Oh, no.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that's it. All right.